cool thing about music is that it's lots of different frequencies. So you'll see all sorts of different shapes.
All over the world, interest is reigniting in learning by doing. At Henrico's Stewart School, they are using methods promoted by the Maker Movement to combine high technology with old-fashioned learning.
I think we're coming out of a generation or two of helplessness and consumerism, and where childhood was increasingly devoid of experience. And I think
Gary Steger is an educational consultant and key player in the movement.
And a lot of my work is involved in the goal of creating an educational system in which school prepares kids to solve the problems that their teacher never anticipated.
Stewart School's Bryan Innovation Lab held an open house this week featuring Steger and examples of how children respond to learning experiences when they can get their hands in it.
We are trying to engage kids to learn and to think and to discover the world.
Carrie Jameson is director of the Bryan Innovation Lab.
And we are doing that with hands-on activity. Really, we're just asking them to identify problems and to try to solve them.
It could begin here.
We're preparing students for college and for life, and the point of the Maker Movement is to help students to be agents, to take control over the world in which they live, and that's exactly what we're after.
Dan Frank is head of the Stewart School.
So we want students to understand the world that they live in. We want students to have the fund of world knowledge that they need in order to move fluently in the world they live in. But most of all, we want them to be active and able to think and act independently when they're adults out of college in order to really have an effect on our world.
We know that learning by doing is valuable, and that learning by making is a way of concretizing that experience. But there may be even a higher level of enlightenment that's associated with making something work. That when you're having a conversation with the materials, with the computer, you're communicating some hypothesis you have, some idea, some hope or aspiration. When you're successful, you're inspired to test a larger hypothesis, embellish, decorate, ask a deeper question. When you're unsuccessful, you have to engage in some debugging process. But either way, there's a euphoria that's associated with making something work.
We are incredibly creative and innovative culture, and I think our kids are naturally drawn to wanting to be creative, and they love to solve problems, and they love to think. And I don't think we've lost it. I think we have a new generation coming along that is going to just blow our socks off.
For Science Matters, I'm Charles Fishburne, WCVE News.